Alright, this is a 2016 Kia Forte 5 Turbo. Gonna do an amp install. Apologize for the shaking. I couldn't find my lens for my DSLR, so I'm doing this handheld. Anyways, if you see this right here, got a little hanger rod that goes down and back into that factory grommet housing. Right where you see how it goes down and goes up, right where it goes up in the engine compartment, there's actually like a metal cap that comes down over the top, but on the bottom side of it, it's just rubber. So that's where I'm going to run my power cable, and then I'll show you the inside. So it comes out. I don't have. Hang on, I'm gonna get a flashlight. Alright, so I'll just back up for a second. So here's your pedals.
I didn't notice that.
Right underneath the clutch pedal, there is the grommet. You can see, here's the hanger. I'm doing a video. So, yeah, it's just, this is where all the factory stuff comes in. So, I'm not sure which side I'm gonna do it, from engine or from here, but I'm gonna tape my power cable to this hanger, and then I'm just gonna pull it through, and then I'll show y'all that. Alright, so I'm gonna try to pull it in through here. So you see my hanger's already on the other side. I've got it taped up, hopefully good enough. It's gonna be real tight when I pull it through, but yeah, I'll show you what it looks like on the other side.
You can use whatever you want to use to puncture that hole, screwdriver, whatever, but I actually used a 1/2-inch chisel because I knew, it's very sharp at the end. And so once I got it pointing down up in there, it was easy for me to just puncture right into that grommet. It made pulling the power cord connected to the hanger a lot easier, because I couldn't do it without it.
Alright, so what I did was I just punctured a hole in the grommet. See how it's going towards the down side of the grommet? Because it needs to go down like that. Because when it comes out in the engine, it'll be coming out from underneath that metal part. So I got it through. I'll show you the other side. Alright, so you can see right there the power cable taped up to the hanger. Pulled it through. Now I'm just gonna grab it and pull it all the way through.
Alright, it's windy, so I don't know how this is gonna sound today. We kind of have a problem, guys. I was trying to do this install super fast, so because my wife was going to go run a marathon, and I ended up stopping recording the rest of the install, so I'm done. But because I was rushing, I didn't get a chance to hide all the wires and whatnot, so I'm gonna have to take it all apart and hide the wires. So it'll be pretty much just as good as doing the full install. I'm gonna clean up the way this power wire is in there, but you can see it's actually going. There's a pin in here. I put it on the one closest to the power itself, with no fuse on it. I thought about putting it on this one, but I didn't. So yeah. Now again, it runs here. I just got it zip tied here. I'm going to move that and kind of make it flush along this wire, but you don't need to see all that. And then where is it? It's kind of hard to see. See those white numbers on the black tube back there, the blue wire goes right across it. Anyways, that is where it goes in to the engine. Alright, so I'm gonna clean this up in here too, but it comes in right in there. I'm just gonna run it underneath the carpet, and then I gotta take this plastic piece off, and actually I may not need to take this one off, but we'll see. But I'm gonna get the wire tucked up under there. I will take this off, and then tuck the wire in here. See, because you can see it right now, it's just under the carpet right there, and then over, blah blah blah, ugly. Taking this off was pretty easy. I'll do that and show you that, because that's where the rear speaker harness, okay, the rear speaker harness is in this pillar. You can see the harness right here. On the inside of this is a white clip, so I took just this top pillar off. So to take this off, you gotta pull the weather sealing out on this side, and the front side also has it. So you pull that off. You don't have to mess with this very top pillar. You just pull, see where the seam is? I actually started from the bottom, and I'll show you how to do it. But you got to take this floor running piece in the back. All I really did was the edge of it, and then the front also that we were just looking at. Pull that one up. Then when you do that, there's a couple of snaps. Sorry, I screwed up the video. Anyways, there's a couple of snaps in here, in here. Mine was relatively easy. Normally, I feel like I'm gonna break something, you know what I mean, when you're pulling it out. And I'll show you, I'll pull it out, I'll set up a tripod and actually do it in front of you. But yeah, so you pull that out. Then this harness on the other side, there's a white plug that clips into it. I actually used a little screwdriver because there's two clips, but they're way too deep in there for me to get my hand in there. So I just did one side. I pushed the clip and kind of used the other hand to pull the bottom part of it out. Then I used the screwdriver on the top clip. Same thing. Once I did that, it pulled out, and it gave me about 1 extra inch to play with. Okay, and the reason I needed that was the speaker wires are all wrapped up in electrical tape all the way to that plug. And what you're gonna have to do is, I used some pliers and then just like a razor. I used the box cutter, and I used the pliers on the electrical tape, just kind of peeled it back a little bit, then cut a slit in that, and then I kept doing that until I peeled off about an inch and a half. And what that did was it gave me about, I don't know, 3 inches of wires to play with, because I actually spliced into, I didn't cut them, I actually spliced a small little section out of the positive rear left and the negative rear left, and then soldered my line out, positive and negative, to that, you know, and then I wrapped it up with electrical tape. I did the same thing on the right side, because, you know, you got to have left and right channels to input to get the full signal. Otherwise you'll get a half of your signal for your subwoofer. It was actually pretty easy. It was easier than my truck. So I'll show you all that. So right now I just have the wires, you know, this should all be hidden in here. And then I don't know what I'm going to do about this panel. Maybe I'll take it off. We'll see how easy it is. But, you know, they run back there. There's the sub. This is the SX with the 18, so it doesn't have a spare tire. It has that little kit or whatever. So it actually has a perfect compartment to hide the amp. So I'll show you that. Let me pull the sub out and then I'll show you where that's. Now the pillar's out of the way. Let me move the seat belt. So that harness right in front of you is the harness I was talking about. So if you see at the very top of the video screen, there's a clip. You just push down on that with a screwdriver or whatever, and then just pull on the top right here, and it'll just kind of pull this out. Then, yeah, there's all this crap in the way. Okay, see that? Alright, I don't know if you can see it, but there's the same thing on the bottom. It's really tight to get a camera in here. Push it in, and then pull on the bottom, and then the whole thing, this whole plastic thing will pull out. But it will still be connected to this boot on the outside, and you don't want to disconnect it. Just leave it connected, but it basically pulls it out about a half an inch to give you some room. This electrical tape was actually all the way up these wires almost to this boot. So just like, so I didn't mess with this one. These are the grounds. I just took some needle nose pliers and just kind of pulled the tape away enough to where I could cut a slit in the tape, knowing I wasn't going to affect any wires. And then I would pull that down and then cut a slit and then pull it down more, cut a slit till I cut it down to, you know, about where you see right here. All right. Now for all the 16 Forte 5s, the rear left wires, the positive is yellow and the negative is black. Now if you notice, there's two yellow wires, so you will have to pull down, you know, I'm not a pro, so I had to do this just so I knew, because I knew that the speaker wires were twisted pairs. So I pulled down that electrical tape far enough to find the black and yellow wire that were actually twisted, and if you can see, they actually start to twist together right at this point. And then if you look down in the boot more, they're completely twisted. So I knew that this yellow it wasn't the power for the speaker. Anyways, then what I did, okay, I gotta kind of tape that up better. But anyways, I just took, you know, one of the wires, spliced it a little bit. I did not cut it. I just removed some of the plastic and pushed it back, and then twisted the line out converter to it, and then soldered it, and then taped it up with electric tape. Did that on both sides of the car. You need to do a negative and a positive. Alright, so anyways, now that I've got that out of the way, you can see I'll be able to run the power wire here.